Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is, what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. All right, welcome back to the I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we sit down with powerhouse women redefining success on their own terms. I'm your host, Anna Anisin, and today's guest is a masterclass in vision, velocity, and style. Divya Gugnani, serial entrepreneur, investor, author, and the unstoppable founder behind Wander Beauty, 5 Cents, and Concept to Co. Amazing. With 2 decades of experience across venture capital, consumer startups, and digital innovation, Divya has built and sold multiple companies, including Send the Trend, acquired by QVC. Cheers, congratulations to that. And Wander Beauty, acquired by Nameless CPG. That was recent, right? Yay.
Yes.
And she's invested in over 80 brands. You mentor women entrepreneurs, guest lecture at top universities, and somehow you still make time to show up with impeccable style and presence, which is amazing. And from Wall Street to beauty aisle to the boardroom, Divya's journey is proof that success doesn't have to fit in a box. You could build it, sell it, wear it, and then do it over again. Yay. Cheers to all your achievements. It's so amazing to have you here. And today we're talking about building brands that resonate, investing with intention, and why personal style is it's much about confidence as it is about clothes.
It is.
Well, before we dive into all this lovely stuff, tell me about yourself. Where are you from? How did you end up in Miami? I would love to know. I know I met you at the Hey Mama meetup during COVID, so it's been a couple years, and it's been really amazing to see your success even multiply since then. But how did you end up here and in Miami, in Brickell?
It's so funny because I was born in Springfield, Illinois. I grew up in the suburbs of New York. I grew up in Long Island, and I loved it. I went to college in upstate New York at Cornell, came back, worked in Manhattan, Wall Street, the whole thing, lived in New York pretty much. Had a short stint where I lived in California, in Menlo Park. I worked in high-tech investment banking at Goldman Sachs, came back, then did my master's at Harvard, lived in Boston for 2 years, again came back to New York. No matter how many times I tried to leave New York,
it just kind of sucked you back in.
I just kept coming back. So what is fascinating about Miami is that I've always had a love for Miami. There's something about Miami. It's the sunshine, it's the energy, it's the positivity, it's the friendly people. It's just something very special about where we live here that I am very attracted to. And so during COVID, I had left Manhattan, my Upper East Side apartment. I had gone to Long Island and stayed in a house, realized that that was not for me, went back into the city, and then I came here for work, and I realized, why do I live in New York when I can live in Miami? The moment I land in Miami, from every business trip I'd taken here, or even personal trip, the stress of New York melts off my body pretty much instantly. So I decided to move here, brought the kids here, my 2 older kids, they relocated, went into school, and then I ended up having another baby.
Congratulations.
So I have 3 kids now in Brickell, and Brickell's amazing for us because I have 2 kids who are in middle school and need to go back and forth, and they're putt shack, shake shack, go to the park, doing all that stuff is very logistically easy for me with as much as I'm working. And then I have a baby, which makes it easy for me to do a lot of, mommy me baby stuff as well. So I feel like I'm getting the best of all worlds, and I get to go to the beach every weekend, which is my happy place.
Love it. No, I agree. I feel like Miami is the best place where There's
I
no
love it
stress
here.
of New York or Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah, it's true. And there's such an amazing entrepreneurial community as well.
There is. No, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, but there really is. And especially for women, I feel like there's a lot of supportive communities and all of those things. So come on down.
Yes.
Come and live here. We love Miami.
We're recruiting you.
Yes, exactly. And you've built and exited multiple companies. And what's the kind of through line on how you've approached each business and what's changed over time as you've done that?
So the through line is that I see problems that are very personal to my life, and I solve them in my unique way. That's kind of the through line of my entire career of building 5 companies and selling 3 of them. So if you just use Wander Beauty as an example, time-starved mom of 2, comes to work every day with under-eye circles, exhausted, tired, and is getting ready on planes, trains, automobiles, the New York City subway from the Upper East Side to Midtown Manhattan to my office, putting on under-eye concealer, going to the gym, doing my skincare. So I realized that so many women were living their lives in motion and they needed fuss-free, foolproof, do-it-yourself skincare and makeup essentials that they could take wherever they wander. And that was the idea, this whole concept of being gorgeous on the go. It's your life, it's my life. I came here on the way for this podcast and I was in an Uber and I was putting on lipstick and under-eye concealer to not scare you. And so, SENS is exactly the same story. I grew up in a neighborhood where kids teased me all the time and they're like, oh, you're Indian, you smell. Oh no, you don't smell, your clothes smell because they cook curry in your house. And I started wearing perfume at age 9.
Wow.
My father used to travel internationally for work and he used to stop in Charles de Gaulle Airport and London Heathrow, and he used to pick up mini duty-free perfumes for me. I had an incredible collection, and fragrance became my DNA, my form of expression. It's like you and your shoes. Fragrance is just who I am and what I am, and so when I got educated about, phthalates and parabens and all these terrible ingredients and toxic chemicals that you put in your body via your skin, which is your largest organ. And when I was creating Wander Beauty and I'd been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, I was allergic to everything. My skincare, makeup, body care, fragrance. And so I had to start from ground zero. And I saw a big white space in that clean fragrance market because all the clean brands look the same. They have the same packaging. They're all hypoallergenic. And I was like, I'm going to create a fragrance brand that captures my mood bottle and really is my form of self-expression.
No, I love it. And that's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that you call yourself an accidental entrepreneur and you just kind of told the story of kind of how you got inspired, but maybe you said you were in Silicon Valley. Was there something, was there a moment where you're like, okay, I need to do this now?
It's so funny. I am an accidental entrepreneur because when you think about an entrepreneur in today's construct, or at least when I was growing up, it was like the entrepreneur was that kid in school with the lemonade stand and could sell anything to anyone. That was never me. I was the shy, introverted, bookworm, athlete, studious type, right? So entrepreneurship takes many shapes, sizes, and forms. I tell my daughter this because she's 11 and she started her own business at age 9.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And
just like Mama.
Yeah, she is just amazing. She has her own style. She created her own website. She makes her own products, her own merchandising, her own visual design, and she's far more creative than I am. But what's fascinating is that I am an accidental entrepreneur. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. Actually, I was opposed to it entirely. What happened was I was dating someone and he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. And we came up with a concept together. We launched a business. It became a successful business, sold the business, and then I got bitten by the bug. When you taste a little bit of success, you just keep going.
Well, let's talk about exits now. What's aside from the bug that you get, what is another surprising thing about selling company emotionally and practically? Because I feel like sometimes you do get attached to these things emotionally, because especially if it is something that's so close to your heart and your story, how do you part with that?
It's incredibly bittersweet. That's the best way to describe it. I love building. I love growing. I love the early days. That's my superpower of building, finding the white space, launching the brand, growing the brand. Scaling the brand is the hard part. It's like when you've got that early product market fit, you put money behind it, you try and scale it, everything breaks. Operations breaks, people break, a lot of things break. And so that's tough. But What really happens when you sell your brand is that you feel this tremendous amount of validation. Like, I built something that someone else can carry on the legacy for. So you feel the validation emotion. You feel relieved because you're like, the stress, the weight, and everything I've been carrying on my shoulders. That feels. Yeah. I can relieve some of that pressure. So the relief is there. So it's bittersweet. There's a little bit of validation. There's a little bit of relief. But more than anything, it's very emotional. And you feel a little bit of grief. I will say, I felt sad every time I sold a company. It's just like, it was kind of finding my way of where I would spend my time. Like when I was at Wander, so many meetings. And when I left this August, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with that time? I quickly invested in 3 different companies prior to selling Wander. And now I've got my hand in a million things.
No, that's a great answer. And as a beauty founder, how did your relationship with your own style and image evolve while building a brand that lives on vanities around the world?
So it's very interesting. I believe that my style and image mirrors my actual life. I create and have created, fuss-free, foolproof skincare and makeup essentials, things that are essential that you reach for and need every day. When you look at my wardrobe, you see that my daily gear is like athleisure essentials. I may not be going to the gym, but I look like I'm going to the gym, but I feel comfortable. It mirrors my need for comfort. If I'm going to do deep work, I'm going to be creative, I'm going to solve problems. You don't want to have tight pants on or... I just don't. There's nothing fussy about my style. It's very comfortable and I feel good in my own skin. And that to me is what I want women to feel when they use my fragrance. I want them to feel confident. I want them to feel like the best version of themselves. And so my style really mirrors what I'm trying to build in my businesses. And so it's effortless, it's simple, it's easy, it's comfortable.
It's kind of like a whole lifestyle, right?
Yes.
And what's one power piece in your closet that's something that makes you really feel good? Is there something like that you could think of?
Yes, I always reach for my Valentino shoes. I was just telling you that I have so many of them. There's something about that kind of like easy, effortless outfit, but then you've got like your shoe.
You got the power shoe. Well, let's get into the shoe now. Let's talk about these wonderful Valentinos, and these are like stock heel.
What you would say,
like rock stud. Yeah, so they're very
I've got the
nice.
like regular stud. I've got the rock stud, which is the newer, bigger stud.
Yeah, I like the bigger stud. It's like a power stud. So tell the story behind this specific pair.
So it's so interesting. I look for comfort, as we mentioned. So you're not seeing me in stiletto heels. You're not seeing me in a big stacked heel. Like that to me isn't my everyday life. My everyday life that transitions from being a mom, being an entrepreneur, day to night. A lot of my shoes have to kind of go through the different phases of what I'm going through in a day. And so I wear a comfortable heel that I'm not going to get a backache from, because mama gets a backache if she wears high heels for a while. So she wears a comfortable heel. She loves neutrals. I love the illusion of a longer leg.
Goes with anything.
Goes with anything. Invest in those few pieces that you're going to use over and over again. And then there's something about Valentino. Yes, it's elegant. Yes, it's sophisticated, but it's a little edgy. And that pretty much punctuates my personal style. I like a little bit edgy. That's me. That's why I always go for Valentinos.
Well, that's a great story. And how many different colors of these do you have?
You don't want to know. I have many. Black,
it's okay.
Cream.
Hey, this is your shoe, Goo.
I have this in different versions and this heel height.
Yeah, but I think this is like a perfect mom heel height, because this is really what you could walk around all day in and not get, as you said, not get any kind of cramps in your feet or your back or
and
anything.
Like even if I go out at night, like I've been working, exercising, taking care of 3 kids. Even when I put on that shoe that I want to feel beautiful and confident to go out and date night with my husband, I'm still not going for the high heel.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired.
Well, they have a really fan. I'm sure you have the one that's like the evening version.
Yes.
There. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that story. And now let's go back to business.
Yes, back to business.
And you've invested into over 80 companies, which is amazing. Congratulations. What do you look for in a founder or brand before really saying yes to them? Because I'm sure you get pitched all the time.
So I get pitched constantly, and early stage investments are people, idea, opportunity. So is the founding team strong? I'm taking a bet on them. Is the idea something innovative, not innovating, not imitating?
Yep.
And is the opportunity in a large and growing market? Very simple formula. People, idea, opportunity. When I invest in the later stage, I expect a brand to have some early product market fit. So I'm investing in people. It's not just the founders. It's the bench of people and talent they've built around them. In a later stage, you want to see talent beyond the founders. I want people, product or service. So it's whatever they're doing has been refined, understood. They've got that product market fit. And then distribution.
Right.
So it's people, product/service, and distribution. I want to see what the roadmap for taking this brand that was amazing at DTC. Are they going to roll out to 6,000 retail stores in mass?
Maybe.
Or, are they going to, what is the distribution? Is it growing internationally? Is it growing domestically? Is it retail? Is it just DTC because that taps out? What is the distribution plan? So very clear parameters on how I look at a business. Now, when it comes to backing a founder, I have patterns. Mm-hmm. Okay. And one of my most clear patterns that I have observed over time is that some of my best founders that I've invested in are athletes.
That's an interesting pattern.
Athletes have a unique ability to be excellent team players. Mm-hmm. And entrepreneurship is literally building and growing and scaling teams.
Yep.
They are great leaders because they've been captain of a team and they know how to lead a team, which is similar to being a CEO or a founder and leading a team. And then they're coachable. So they are able to take feedback and execute plays that a coach or mentor can give them like they would do on a field if they were playing a sport.
That's interesting.
So
I've heard this before though.
Yes, they really have the ability, like athletes, and I was an athlete, so I liken it to myself, knew how to work with teams, knew how to be, I was captain of the track team and cross country when I was in high school. And then I took advice from a coach. I was coachable. Yep. And the pattern recognition on this piece also is that I have to have personal chemistry with the founder because you spend a lot of time when you're building a business.
Especially in the beginning.
Investing, early stage, I'm advising them. I have to really enjoy that person. And I say, if I'm going to advise them, I do the New York to Tokyo test. And I was like, do I want to sit on a plane from New York to Tokyo with this person? Because if I do, then I'm going to advise them. And if I don't, I'm not advising them, but I can write a check.
There you go. I think that's a really good formula. Thank you so much for sharing. And you have so many different roles. Like, let's talk, how do you manage your identity between CEO, investor, author, mom, mentor, all of those things? How do you really do you separate those things or do you blend them together?
My life is entirely blended. I
that.
do try and compartmentalize time with my family and make it protected and private because that's necessary, especially with my kids being in middle school. They need that one-on-one time. This is like a very formative time for them personally.
Yep.
They're going through a lot academically, socially, emotionally, hormonally. So I feel like I compartmentalize time with my family. So if I'm investing in time one-on-one with my daughter, or making a recipe together from a cookbook that she picked, or AI, our latest, greatest invention from AI, it's just us one-on-one, and I protect that time. My son and I, after everyone goes to sleep, the two of us chit-chat because he never wants to go to sleep, and that's
so
the
cute.
joy of having
so
a teenage son. But that time that we get together when my husband's either working or taking a shower or doing something, and the other two girls, his sisters, are asleep, we get that one-on-one time. And that's when he opens up and really talks to me and has the valued conversation. The rest of the time, it's all blend.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I work a lot. I work a lot of hours. I am on call all the time, 7 days a week. We go on what I call trips. Because traveling with a family is not a vacation. It's a trip. It is working with a better view.
It's sure though. Yeah, it's definitely.
I've never, every trip I take, I always have to work, and my family knows it. And my son takes everyone to the pool and watches his sisters, and it's just kind of what we do. And we just kind of do it and blend it day by day.
I think that's great. I mean, I'm the same way because I feel like you have to really make it a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
To be happy and the balance
you have to enjoy
and
it.
all of that.
You have to enjoy it.
And what advice would you give to a woman who she has an idea and she wants to scale something, but she feels really overwhelmed? And I think you mentioned a little bit about AI. I think a lot of people are discouraged because of it to start anything because they feel like it's, they're not going to succeed, or it's really easy to copy, or, their ideas are going to be taken. What is kind of your take on that? Or, I mean, I feel like I always tell people it's never too late or to start. You should do it if you really are passionate about it. But what is your take on it?
Nike said it best. Just do it. You learn
Yep.
from experience. You grow through what you go through.
I love that.
And it is entirely important to not be hard on yourself. I think as women, we are conditioned to feel demoralized by failure. And the most important skill that you can learn is how to navigate change, because in building a business, the only constant is change.
Exactly.
And the more you learn to deal with that, the better you're going to be. If someone is daunted and, is stuck and feeling, kind of in that mode, what I say is always like, don't look at that big problem or that big obstacle or that big thing in front of you. Actually break it down to a series of a lot smaller problems and tasks, and then just start solving them. Chip away at it in smaller pieces, and then you feel the wins and you feel the success. So whenever I have a huge problem in front of me, I always break it down to what are the series of smaller problems that I can solve that is going to give me the power, the courage, and the motivation to tackle the bigger issue.
And the little, serotonin boost of solving one of them, right?
Yes.
So, no, that's a great answer. I think that's great advice.
It comes from experience.
Thank you so much, Divya. And before we get into this little round of quick fire round, I just wanted to say a little thank you to our listeners, because we just passed 15,000 downloads, making us, the I Want Her Shoes podcast, actually the top 10 in fashion and beauty on Apple, and also put us in the top 8 of all podcasts worldwide, which is amazing. And
Anna.
thank you.
Now, this speaks to your dedication. This is about you investing in this, investing in yourself, and investing in other women to give them the tools and the framework and the information that they need to succeed. So cheers to you.
Well, thank you, Divya. I really appreciate you. I mean, and your support and always, coming to this. And I know you were so busy and for taking the time. And
I'm so proud. I'm so proud
Thank
of
you. So
Congrats.
cheers to the next 15,000 and way more to come.
Way more.
It's so exciting. And now let's get into this fun little quick round of this or that. Dry shampoo or dewy skin?
Oh, dewy skin.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Cap table management or product formulation?
Product formulation. I love to create products, and I love to get my hands dirty.
Power blazer or silk maxi dress?
Always the blazer.
Yes, I see you.
I feel like the blazer makes me feel confident.
Yes. Power look. Harvard case study or French culinary flashback?
French culinary flashback. I would say out of the 3 degrees that I have and the 3 school experiences I had, culinary school was the most difficult and challenging.
You went to culinary school?
Yeah.
You didn't mention that in the beginning because you forget the creative part, but that's so cool.
But I really feel like my time at the French Culinary Institute challenged me in a way that I hadn't been challenged before.
That's amazing. You need to learn something new about you. And board meeting glam or red eye airport skincare?
Red eye airport skincare all the way.
Yes. Pitch deck polish or fresh face confidence?
Fresh face confidence.
Yes. Investment memo or retail floor walkthrough?
Oh God, I love both. This is the tough one. I love a good memo.
You can
I
say
love putting
both.
it together. And I love a retail floor walkthrough, because I always say when people want to put their product in retail and they're like, oh, I'm thinking about being in this retailer to that retailer. I say, take your product, go to Target, go to Ulta, go to Sephora, go to Walmart, wherever you want to go. Take your product in that retail harsh light and see what it looks like and where it would fit.
It's going to look like shit, probably, right?
Yes, and then it's going to help you understand where you belong.
Exactly. That's great advice. Packing cubes or pack and go chaos?
Packing cubes.
For
the
sure.
Virgo in me. Can't help it. Everything's organized.
I don't want chaos.
No chaos.
Same here. Early morning strategy call or late night product brainstorm?
So it used to be late night product brainstorm all the way up until my 3rd kid. Now I'm early morning, up at 5. I can't even control my internal alarm clock. So I'm up.
Yeah, same here.
Early morning.
Morning is my thing. Run the show or sell the company or both? Both. Yes, girl, that was us.
Run the show and then sell the company.
Yes, Divya, thank you so much for showing us what it means to scale with style, built with heart, and lead with a mix of grit, grace, and go-getter energy. You've not only built brands, you've built pathways for other women to follow, learn, and thrive. And to our listeners, if you ever felt like you had to choose between power, presence, or profit and purpose, this episode is your reminder you could do all of it. and do it in lipstick and sneakers and be comfortable. And please send this episode to women who are thinking about starting something and they're not sure. And there's some amazing tips in here. Thank you so much, Divya.
And you can find me on social. I'm at D Gugnani. If you're thinking about starting a business, I have a TikTok channel that's literally entirely dedicated to
amazing. We'll share everything.
Building, growing your business, raising funding. It's my entrepreneurial investor thing.
Perfect. Well, we'll share those resources. And until next time, remember, the most powerful thing you could wear is the legacy you're building.